I think one of our members, we're hoping is going to be rejoining as a member, is Joel Oxbury, who is a corporate fundraiser for Royal Manchester Children's Hospital. He's now moved on to Walking with the Wounded, and he's only just started there, so he's just seen how the land lies. But what he's said to us is that we're a unique networking club in that the members seemingly care more about supporting others in reaching their goals more than their own. I experienced this more than others representing one of the group's chosen charities, Royal Manchester Children's Hospital. And during that time, the group raised significant amounts of money in donations and gifts and kind donations which were raffled or auctions. I think one thing which that doesn't represent is that we are all, as members, dealing with businesses around the northwest, around the country, and many of them have corporate social responsibility policies, and they take it very seriously. They just need a bit of direction as to where to place their support, and that's where we've been quite instrumental in helping both Genie Networks and Royal Manchester Children's Hospital and 318 Squadron to an extent. And that's Mark, if you want to say a few words about what it's meant to 318.
Yeah. Okay. The 318 Squadron is the Air Cadet Squadron, and it's a local squadron based in Sale. They are a registered charity. I've been involved with it for about 10 years or so now. Mike used to be chairman of the civilian committee for the charity. He represents the squadron here, and it's a tremendous charity. It's actually quite a humbling experience when you see young boys and girls grow into outstanding, incredible young people. It really is an absolute pleasure and a delight to be involved with it. But you know, the business club here, as we said, is non-for-profit. The reason why we're going on about charities at this stage of the meeting is so that you appreciate we don't draw in funds and divvy it out to the members. We're about supporting charities. If we have excess funds, Mark's told you we've got £1 short of 5,000. We made £5,000. We have £5,000. Okay, we have £5,000. What we don't use at the end of the year will be donated to our supported charities. It's as simple as that. That's what we're about. We are here to enjoy ourselves, to have business, to do business with each other, and to support the charities. Okay. We've donated over £8,000 over recent years. I'm very proud of what we've actually done here in Bowden Business Club. It's not a huge amount in the big scheme of things, but you know what? I think our charity representatives here today will appreciate that every little helps. You know, and spent in the right way, every pound can make a huge, huge difference to charities. Right, we're going to move on. Two more of our visitors, please. I'm going to invite Isra, and then I'm going to invite Chris.
There you are. See, I told you. Give it evils.
I've got you written down here so I can't forget where you are. Right, Isra, tell us about your business, please.
Hi, so it's Isra, and that's the best part of having a surname with an A, because you get to start it off. So basically I'm a life coach, a mindset life coach, and an NLP practitioner. So NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and that's basically the study of excellence in people. So we try to study how people achieve excellence and model that, producing tools that we can use with clients or companies to accelerate change and, you know, facilitate success in them. And life coaching and NLP goes brilliantly together, because basically I can help clients individually or companies to achieve their goals. So I listen to them, I try to understand what's happening, what their goals are, what they want to achieve, and I work with them to break down any barriers that they may have, or any past events that's affected them, to help them move forward and achieve their goals. So what I've done so far is I've worked with individual clients on a one-to-one basis. I've given talks in schools and in small groups, companies, and just try to, so motivational, inspirational, try to teach them how to facilitate change within themselves or within a group. I've also offered a DISC profiling, personality profile, to help employers understand their employees and how to achieve the best from each person, help facilitate kind of the relationships between clients and their employees, or employers and employees. So that's basically how it works. So it's working both individual and in large groups as well.
Can you like to stand up? No?
Yes,
Sorry,
can
Isabel.
I? Okay, so I'm Chris Gold and I work for Workplace Mental Health, and we are actually part of a charity which is Mental Health Independent Support Team in Bolton, and it's so fabulous to hear about the charitable work here. We operate slightly differently because what we do, instead of going out and doing fundraising and income generation, we actually do it through trading. So Workplace Mental Health is actually a social enterprise. So there's only 2 of us who actually work for Workplace Mental Health, but what we do is we buy in the professional services of people and volunteers within the charity, and we actually go into workplaces because we're looking at preventative measures within workplaces. We all have mental health, and it's time that we drop the stigma around mental health. Every day you could be somewhere between fantastic and getting on really well, and then you could be at that poor end where you're starting to feel that things are not quite right. We all know what it's like to go home at the end of the day and think, I need to have a glass of wine, I've had a bad day today, it's Monday, do I really have to get out of bed? It's when that becomes something more serious. So we do mental health awareness training, we do ambassadors programs, we actually do a risk assessment within businesses because we don't believe in selling people something that they don't need. So we go in and we do an audit with them, and we look at where are they now, and we look at in terms of their strategy, their objectives, who they are, where do they want to be, and we come up with a plan and a program. And what that means is actually collaborating with other organisations as well, because we can't do everything ourselves. So say we needed something like coaching, then there's people that we would actually say we can recommend these people to you, and we work with all different practitioners around the area. Plus for businesses, we don't want everybody to be competing against each other, knocking on everybody's doors. Why don't we all work together and provide our services together? So we want to make sure that businesses are proactive. Yes, it's high in the news, but there's far too many businesses burying their heads in the sand and thinking, it doesn't happen in my workplace, it's not to do with me. It affects everybody. Everybody needs to know what mental health is, stress, depression, anxiety, all those things, people not sleeping, people just feeling bad on a day-to-day basis. How do we deal with that? If we can teach people to actually deal with that, then we can help the NHS, we can help charities like ourselves who've got people coming through the door who've lost their jobs, they've lost their livelihoods, and they really cannot get back into that. Why are we like this? Why do we have a stiff upper lip? And why do we treat each other so badly in the workplace? It's quite simple. What you say to somebody affects the way that they feel. So think about how you speak to somebody. And we just do the practical things. It's all common sense. But every employer has a duty of care. And we like working alongside other people, like Michelle's inviting me here today, because we can work alongside health and safety, HR, managers. It doesn't naturally fit anywhere in an organisation, so we can help as an external organisation. So thank you.
Beyond the rest of it, for potential business within the group, because health and safety is, health
comes first for
is
a
mental
reason.
health as well. And similarly with Steve. Steve is an insurance broker. I mean, what impact does claims for mental health have on businesses?
Claims for mental health.
Well,
it's more on the
sickness.
safety side.
Yeah,
Exactly. The claims that I come across. But I mean, I deal with lots of businesses who, because there was a woman here that did go into businesses, and I was able to recommend her. And it is something that people don't know anything about. But when you ask them the question, what have you got in place? You just look at your blank and say nothing.
At the moment, it's not statutory. We're hoping that in years to come, mental health awareness
Hopefully one day will be,
will
won't it?
become
Yeah.
statutory. But at the minute, it's a case of as long as you tick certain boxes, then you're fine. But we want to do more than that because it is really important. It affects families and communities.
I think for yourself as well as coaching and training, a number of us deal with corporate.
Any insights?
Sure.
What we spend our money on.
Right. Yes. So my name's Richard Whitehurst. I became social secretary in January. I only joined the club about a year ago after basically the same meeting held this time last year. Last year, Ian was the social secretary. He arranged a go-karting night. What was the other one you mentioned to me? Because I forgot what you mentioned.
Comedy store.
The comedy store, thank you. This year I've arranged walking tours of Manchester. Ian arranged a tour of Manchester Town Hall. At the moment we're trying to get something together for Junkyard Golf, which is like a sort of creative golf with cocktails. That's in the pipeline. We'll probably do that within the next couple of weeks. Not everybody comes to everything. We did the Code to Exit, which is in Altrincham. We had 4 people at that. The walking tours, I think we had about half a dozen people with some plus ones. The river cruise that a few people did with the Soul Singer, that was about a month ago. I think we had about 3 members with their plus ones. So it's not like you're forced to go. Some things will appeal to you, some things won't. So the idea is that it just gives us an alternative time, because sometimes at the breakfast meeting you're so busy kind of just eating, or you don't get around the room to talk to everybody. It's just an alternative forum to try to get to know the members. So that's what we do with the social site.
What are you going to say, Chris?
Well, we can say that.
I'm going to ask Chris to give us a little bit of history with the business clubs here. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning. My name's Chris Wright, and although Bowden Business Club's probably been around now for 5-6 years, if you trace the origins of this group back, it's actually started back in August 2003. And there's actually 3 of us came for lunch in the restaurant here, and from that group of 3 people, the group officially launched as a proper business club in March 2004. And at that point there were actually 20 members of the group. Prior to the sort of financial problems in 2009, the group actually grew. And at one stage we had about 35 members, so it was a very, very vibrant group. With the financial problems in 2009, some of the numbers dropped off. And since it became Bowden Business Club around 2010, 2011, it's continued in around the 20 mark, 16, 17, 18 mark. But I think one of the great things about having been a member for a long time is that I've actually met literally hundreds of people in this room. It's not just about the people that are here now, it's actually about all the people that you've met over those years. And as Mark's already alluded to, one of the key things is actually about getting to know people. You've actually got to spend time with people. You've got to find out what they're all about. Because once you know them, once you trust them, you're going to give them referrals. And they're also going to give you referrals. And I think that's one of the key things. It's not just a one-way street. We're not here just to receive referrals. We're actually here to pass referrals to our fellow members. You know, the old B&I adage is that givers gain. And the more that you contribute, the more you're going to get out of this group. But from an accountant's point of view, we do recurring work. So one of the great things for us is that we always look at the lifetime value of a client. And that's the way that we've looked at this group. It's all about the lifetime. The longer we can go, with a client, the more money we'll generate. And we've found that with this group. The costs of membership are around £600 a year, and you've got to spend a couple of hours a week here. What is that really a cost? At the end of the day, you've got to invest in your business. You know, if you're going to build your business, you've got to make it grow. You've actually got to spend time doing that. So I don't actually regard that as a cost. I actually regard that as an investment. And I think that's the way that people should look at that. Surprisingly, it was only this week that I actually sat down to look to see what we'd actually got out of this group. And to be fair, I was actually quite surprised when I looked at the figures. As of 2 weeks ago, we've actually billed and been paid for £660,000 worth of work. And we've also got recurring work on an annual basis of £68,000 a year that comes in. So all we've got to do is look at the clients, and all that work can be traced back to people that have been in this room, where the initial contact to that client has come from here. So if you look at it from our point of view, this group has been absolutely fantastic. It works for us. I see it working for other people in the room, and I think the big thing for you is to say, can it work for you?